Hi, my name is Karen Wood, and I am doing hot pepper history. I do not do hot pepper, so this is going to be interesting. I am going to tell you about my thesis that I wrote 5-6 years ago now. On college football and during World War II. We had a thesis, oh god, this is hot. My thesis advisor wanted us to talk about or choose to write our topics, something that we love and have a passion for. And I was really into World War II at that time, and I went to Purdue as my undergrad and grew up as a Purdue Boilermaker fan. And I'm like, how can we do this with Purdue and World War II? So I went to the archives and started just researching, and I found out that the 1943 football team was undefeated, and they had the Big Ten Conference champions, and the year before they were 1-7, had a horrible team. And I'm like, okay, what happened there? And in also 1943, the military training program started at Purdue, and this was kind of how President Elliott wanted to help colleges prepare for the war effort, and how can they train the soldiers and servicemen and women to then go on to fight. And so they had the Army training program and the Navy training program, and they both started at Purdue in July 1943. Oh my goodness. The Navy allowed their servicemen to play varsity sports. The Army did not. It was even petitioned by congressmen to this excuse me, Secretary of War to allow them to play football. He said, no, I am busy fighting a war in Europe right now. No, they just work on calisthenics and everything. So what what happened is that the colleges and universities that fielded these Navy, the V-12 programs, brought in servicemen, sailors from professional teams and from their early 20s. Like, you had Green Bay Packers going back to school to train, and he was 24 years old. And in the Army, universities that did not have the Navy programs but had the Army programs could only field 17-year-olds on their football teams. And so there were these scrawny, skinny freshmen. Like Ohio State and IU had those teams. Like Purdue, Notre Dame, Michigan, they all had the Navy program. So they had these big, beefy guys. So in 1942, they did not have this established yet, and so Purdue had a lousy season, but the Boilermakers were very spirited, and the war was going on. They didn't know what was going to change, so the student spirit was very good. Anyway, 1943 it started, they keep winning, and there's this group of men, the players, they're just phenomenal. They're breaking all these Big Ten records, they're doing great. And then in mid-October, a couple of them have to leave to go overseas and fight. So now half the team is gone, and they're fighting overseas. And the Purdue Exponent student newspaper and the Alumni magazine, the Alumni Association sends the newspaper and the magazine to the soldiers overseas, fighting during the course of the war. And they would go back and read about the football scores and how reading about football boosted their morale while overseas. And they've created this global community across the entire world for Boilermaker spirit. And even one of the guys who wrote back in the letters to the editor said, we dropped this bomb on Germany, and they said something about hello Hitler, or to the Krauts or something. It was pretty funny. And anyway, and then a couple of the football players, they would go back to the letters editors saying how much they miss football, can't wait to go back to Ross-Ade Stadium, and they just boosted their morale. So football was this outlet during the harsh reality of war and entertainment for them. And it was really good. Do I have to finish this? Okay. This is awful.